A little longer one, but I think that the very first part of it is really important. Good to talk about. Can you explain why collaboration is so important to keep?
Yeah, one is for moments just like this. I don't want to give a full history lesson or the adages of the past, but I think you have to learn from your past in order to know where to go in the future. So I'll start off with this. Collaboration was founded in the ability for an organization, if you just strip it all away, NACA and FAA, any organization to withstand the outside pressures during the difficult times and not just blow in the wind of we're going this direction. Oh, wait, the agency changed and go in this direction. Is can we, at a facility level, at an organizational level, and that should be the goal, right? I'm not saying this it's always perfect, but that should be the goals. When the outside pressures force your organization, can you still work together even in the very difficult decisions? Because it's very easy to work together when the pressures aren't high, or they're called better or good times. But when the agency's being pressured to do something that we don't like or that the other party doesn't like, can we still communicate, work together through it, and find an outcome of, all right, these are your concerns, these are your interests, and how do we get there? The traditional method is we've determined this is what we're doing, and now we can fight about it one way or the other, which usually doesn't bring any solution, which either stalls the process or it gets implemented. And you especially where we're at right now is if you're seen as the roadblock and obstacle, you can have your union decertified, you could have your contract ripped up, or you can have it stripped away, which does put a lot of pressure and onus on us to say, how do we deal with those difficult decisions, those difficult times? Look at it from the different programs that the agency wanted to cut and do. Like, man, I'd love to work on everything, but we also needed to focus on it. Putting us the subject matter experts of going into different levels of hours or an ad hoc use where this man, I don't know if we'll be able to complete and accomplish the task, but the pressures and stresses on the agency to look at the lens of it through DOGE and everyone else of cutting government bureaucracy, cutting government spending, cutting government time during controller shortages, like all these narratives build up. But can we sit down, talk about it together in good faith and earnest conversation, and ultimately come to we have an understanding of how we'll move through this based on the realities that exist. So without that, you're talking about no ways to address the productivity and the work life of employees or the sustainment thereof. Well, not every decision is, I would say, in a position where we love everything that's occurring or everything that's going on. We still have at the facility levels where we work on more issues than we ever have because we've established an ability or a credibility to say we are good faith partners and let's work through this. Doesn't mean the agency doesn't get their marching orders, but in the past where the agency would say it's my marching order, regardless of it, to still sit down in many facilities with the FAC rep and talk about that and how do they either communicate it, message it, or work through that issue. And then we get to a place like we do every year, and they'll give you this as the last example, a full negotiation, and traditional is working through the basic watch schedule and annual leave agreements. Some year it's easy, where they probably rely more on the collaborative principles while it's still a negotiation. It's a win-lose type of situation, which is what a negotiation is, and what traditional labor rights force you into is win-lose. This is, okay, right now, I have a lot of FAC reps out there saying agencies taking hardline stances, and that happens every single year in many of our facilities, sometimes more than others. We're on different topics, and we work our way through that and ultimately try to find a place of where can we reach an agreement on and what are our rights allow us to do. We expand those rights through collaboration many times. And again, I use that as an example because you may want 5 or 6 leave slots, and ultimately you walk away saying, the best we could get to with the data and everything that we looked at is, 4 in some places and 5 for the rest of the year. Now, again, that's on the very high end and a different level of picture, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. It is going to be where traditional resulted in nothing, We continue to still work the issues of today. I, continue to be able to come up with new ideas with Frank. We continue to meet on the safety aspects, the training components of it, and have our influence in it. Otherwise, it is the agency will let us know what they're doing, and we'll see what we have the right to negotiate without it. But we wouldn't be having NCEP discussions. We wouldn't be having CRWG discussions and many of the other components and things that our members have talked about on this very call that are important to them.